Thank you. Good evening. Welcome to March 17th, 2025 Township Committee meeting, 7:05 at the Municipal Building. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bartlett.
Here.
Ms. Fitzpatrick. Here. Mr. McFadden.
Here.
Mr. Olet.
Here.
Ms. Seuss.
Here, thank you. Also present, Mr. Schwab, Township Administrator, Mrs. Lure, Municipal Clerk, Mrs. Russell, Deputy Municipal Clerk, and Mr. Warren, our Police Chief. Please rise for the flag salute.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sunshine Statement and live stream statement, please.
Please be advised that proper notice of this meeting has been given in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act in the following manner. Written notice has been mailed to the Maryland County Times and Courier Post and published in the December 30th, 2024 editions. Written notice has been posted on the official bulletin board of the Township of Delanco at least 48 hours prior to the meeting. This meeting of the Delanco Township Committee may be transmitted via live stream on YouTube video. The streaming of the meeting is not intended to be relied upon as formal public access under the Open Public Meetings Act, and if the technology is disrupted for any reason, the township meeting will proceed in person as an official meeting in accordance with official notice.
Thank you. Meeting is now open to the public for comments and questions. This is session 1. If you have anything you'd like to say, please come up to the podium and state your name and address. No. Seeing none, I will close this session 1 to the public. And you can come up now, actually, if you'd like to do your special presentation for our new township proposed seal design.
Thank you.
How are you?
Thank you, Carolyn. So I have these folders. You can't open them until I read.
Super secret, top secret.
Yes.
It's down there.
I get so excited to see everyone.
Thank you.
Kate, sealed.
Thank
The seal is sealed.
She's so official.
Thank you.
She's a true artist.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bill, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I just want to thank you all for doing all the hard work you do for Delanco Township, everyone here to keep it running smoothly and keeping everyone safe.
Susan, you want to introduce yourself?
Oh,
for the
yes.
record?
Hi, I'm Susan Matera. I've lived in Delanco probably over 30 years. Did I say where I live?
Yes.
Lilac Lane. So beginning with Matt's thorough groundwork, an assembly of symbols representing characteristics of Delanco, we were able to take his concept to the next level, creating a sophisticated seal for Delanco Township. So the symbolism, what everything represents. The wheat round seal often represents concept related to abundance,
Should
nourishment,
we open it now
and
since
good.
you're
No.
talking about it? Oh.
Nope.
I want you to use your imagination. Nourishment and growth. The wheat itself has been a symbol of life and sustenance for centuries, as it is a primary source of food for many cultures. When depicted in a round seal or emblem, the symbolism of wheat may be interpreted in several ways. In general, the wheat round seal likely represents themes of life, growth, and a cyclical round nature of earth and existence. The American bald eagle, Matt, you did all this, has been famous as a national bird of the U.S. ever since it was officially placed on the Great Seal of the country in 1782. The indigenous to North America, this image of this bird first appeared on the Massachusetts copper cent in 1776 as an American symbol. Since then, it has been used on the reverse side of several U.S. coins, including the half-dollar, quarter, and silver dollar. The bald eagle has been a symbol of courage, freedom, strength, immortality for many generations. Delanco has been named a tree city, I think around 2015. The oak tree is the official national tree of the USA as declared by Senator Nelson in 2004. It is of the newer additions to the list of many national symbols in the United States of America. The oak tree stands for moral strength, knowledge, and resistance, considered a storehouse of wisdom, which is why it is the most obvious and popular choice for the national tree of the U.S. Delanco is, of course, on the Delanco River and Rancocas Creek. Like, we really have a unique place that we live in. Also, we are known for, in the spring, the striped bass migration. We see all the fishermen fish along the river, which is really always exciting to see them bring the fish in and then release them. Also, as another symbol, the NJT, the train crossing the Rancocas Creek Bridge. This bridge was newly built for the River Line, replacing the old Pennsylvania Railroad Bridge, and the River Line began service of Sunday, March 14th, 2004. So these symbolic icons truly encompass the history and the future of Delanco. So if you would like, you can open your folders.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Perfect.
So this is a high-resolution vector art.
Can I show the audience?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is been made for high-resolution vector art, so if you want to blow it up by 5 feet, it'll be able to do so.
Very
Beautiful,
cool.
Susan.
Yes, this is awesome.
I knew she would do a great job.
It's
But
really
thank you,
cool.
Matt, for your visual to get it all started.
Yeah, thank you. I was actually surprised. I wasn't aware that you were going to be preparing a seal.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when we discussed, you were going to have her provide some feedback on the one that I prepared, and haven't heard anything.
I sent it to her since she was a graphic artist, and I didn't mean to offend you or anything, but I did
Oh, no.
ask Susan if she would come through with something for us, and she did this.
No, it's definitely beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm just a little surprised, because that's not what we discussed at the last meeting. But this is definitely,
I thought that's what I said, that I was sending it to her to prepare something.
So this is the train bridge, right?
That's the
Yeah,
train bridge. So
that's
we have
cool.
2 bridges going into Delanco, and I felt the train bridge was a more beautiful visual piece. Then I was looking for fish for hours, and then eagles for hours, and find it, put it all together.
Yeah, it's really
But
cool.
my old college professor actually did the fine tuning, like each of those, the wheat, she actually hand placed each little leaf,
oh boy.
an exact line, so that line is, everything's very specific. So,
So,
Do we have to put New Jersey somewhere on here at all?
I was gonna put that, but if we're using it, say you put it on the letterhead, you're gonna put your address, which states New Jersey. If
Right.
you have it hanging in the building, it's obviously we are in New Jersey,
Okay.
so there's really no reason to put New Jersey, and that,
yeah.
even though we love our state, this shape, I was working with that a little bit, and I don't think we really need the shape of New Jersey.
The only
Yeah.
thing would be to just have the solicitor see if New Jersey,
Can I see?
as an official seal,
Can I see?
Yes, it does.
has to be on the official seal for legal documents.
Oh?
Oh, I
That's the
don't know.
only
I
thing
think
I
there's
would
like-
suggest.
There's some kind of seal in New Jersey, there's like two people holding something, they can,
Yeah,
Okay.
that's New Jersey seal, but we
Yeah.
don't know if we need to have it on ours.
yeah.
Maybe for what we seal legal documents, we might.
Oh, that would be
Maybe-
interesting.
Maybe for the,
Mhm.
you know, the aesthetic seal, we would not.
Right.
I
Yeah,
think we
this
should
is more
just
for
have
graphic than
our
anything.
solicitor chime in. I'm just thinking for the seal of legal documents.
Okay.
Does that have to
Yeah.
say New Jersey?
Oh, that's awesome, yeah.
You know?
Other than that, it's gorgeous.
Mhm.
It's gorgeous,
Absolutely
Susan.
gorgeous.
Yeah, I don't think this would be used for sealing legal documents. This would be
No.
more for,
More visual.
more visual for graphics, for the website, for the
Yeah,
wall,
for
for everything else.
But like our
So, yeah,
letterhead and
the
stuff, we just
letterhead,
want to
yeah.
make sure it's
Yep,
legal or whatever,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
And if, a couple of them might have 2 sheets of paper, depending on the stock, it was always very important when you print on letterhead, the stock is such importance to make the colors vibrant. If you
Yeah, I
have
can see.
a cheaper stock, it gets muddy,
Sure.
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
Susan, you did a beautiful job.
Yes, thank
Thank you
you.
so
I
much.
think that's how.
And you're gonna let me know your instructor's
Oh, right,
name.
so
You're gonna give me that
the
information
name, so you
I
can
send
do a tax
letter.
write-off,
They did this pro bono for us.
Yeah, that's
because it would have
great.
been over $2,000
Yeah.
technically,
Yeah.
for the time we spent
That's
spent
great.
together.
It's supposed to be right.
So I have
Yeah,
to
it's like
send
when
a
you
letter.
pull-
So
It's a shading,
you could
but-
use it as a tax write-off for her.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for allowing me to create this for
We
Delanco.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, Yeah, you can see how on this one,
It's a heavy thing, this is on the letter, that's.
right?
Yeah, we just have to figure out the 1926 establishment, if we're going to be going with that, because it's technically not right, because we were established in 1852.
No, but that,
But
we're
not as
celebrating
Delanco.
our centennial.
Yeah.
We should leave it, I would just leave it.
As established
Yeah,
1926?
I would, yeah.
I agree.
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, circling back, let's go to comments and reports. We'll start with Township Administrator Richard.
The only report I have is that you, later on, you'll be introducing 2025 budget. So when we have the public hearing, we can go into some detail on it. We've spent a lot of time on it, and I appreciate everybody's input, and I hope everybody understands the way we put it together. It gets more complicated every year. But that portion's done, and then we'll have to plan on implementing it, once it gets adopted.
Yeah, that was a fun process, said no one. Janice, department heads.
Just that you will, you have a couple items that you'll be acting on later that don't require resolutions, the agreement to enter, to continue in the consortium, and have the bidding company, Trash Pro, do that, because our trash contract, solid waste contract does end this year. And then you will have later on the agreement for the consulting services.
Yes.
That's all I have right now. Bev, do you have anything, like any dates coming up? A great.
Townwide yard sale and cleanup, and townwide yard sale will be April.
26.
26th.
Yep.
And the cleanup will be the following weekend, in the shredding event. And then, just a reminder that, this coming Monday is the first day of brush collection. So all brush needs to be out by Monday morning by 7 a.m. And that will start monthly, that last full week of each month until September, that Monday morning.
So you're saying we all have yard work to do this weekend?
Oh, mine's sitting out there. Okay, chief.
First thing, resolution will be passed soon for the new officers that we have. So I'm excited about that. They'll be starting next Monday. Last week, Patrolman Lusner completed the lead training course. So now we'll have 2 lead officers, him and Sergeant Deering. So
Awesome.
that'll be a
Great.
good help and get some new blood into that, in the
Yeah.
younger train of thought and mindset. For our numbers to date, we have 13 police cases for a total for the year of 44. There were 143 motor vehicle violations issued with 274 motor vehicle stops, and we have a total of 2,225 calls for service as of today. So the guy's been busy. Yeah, but that is it for now.
Chief, I had a resident ask me, Palmyra or Riverton, one of them, they have a page on their or on their blotter, I guess, where they list the accidents or the, calls or what have you, the number. Can you list that on Delanco's blotter? You have a site that you have.
I believe we do have a police blotter.
That's what I
that-
thought,
and
but I couldn't find it.
It's on the website.
You couldn't find the blotter?
I found the blotter, but
Oh, you
I
mean the
couldn't find
statistics.
where the statistics are, and that for the year end for 2024, and then for the,
Yeah.
each month.
It should have been in there. I'll ask our administrative assistant in the morning. But yeah,
Yeah,
because she
because
compiles
I
that, because at the beginning of the year, we put all of the year-end statistics on there. So it should have been on there, but I'll talk to her in the morning.
Okay, because I couldn't find it, and I don't think the resident.
Because she does the monthly blotter for all
Yeah.
the calls
Okay.
and what they went out for,
Yeah.
and that's put on there, so.
Maybe she could put it at the end of it, just
Yeah.
like the total tally running.
Okay, we did.
Or something.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
not a big deal.
All right, thanks, I appreciate it.
No problem.
Okay, thank you. Before I move on to Township Committee, we have a celebrity in the audience. Carl Tarashi. You were featured in March's 2025 Beverly Bee for your work at the Burlington County Prison Museum. And there was a great little article written up how you are a member of the Museum Association and that you've been giving tours every Thursday for a number of years. And the clubhouse did a field trip and they wrote up a great little blurb about you. So if you haven't checked out the Beverly Bee, Carl does some great work there. So congratulations on that, Carl.
I love the heading on that, Newton's Landing residents in jail.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. That's just a cool little spot over there
It is,
in,
yeah.
in Mount Holly. So very nice little write-up. Okay, Fern, would you like to start?
Certainly. Thank you. The state cross acceptance plan for the state of New Jersey and for Burlington County and Delanco, Mrs. Russell and I have been working on this, I guess, for the last month in just meetings and moving the process along. I think we'll be ready to submit our work to the county by March the 28th. And I did attend the state's planning at the Burlington County Library last week, and where they had the different communities in Burlington County come for a presentation, and got a few tips from them there so that we can fill out our forms and be able to submit our, I guess, our document. Let's see. Matt may elaborate a little bit on this a little bit later, but we worked on the library contract. We had a meeting with the subcommittee from the school board, and we made some progress there, and we seem to be making headway. So more news on that to come. And I did attend the Burlington County Commissioners meeting last week, and it was honoring Women's Month. And they had a lady there who owns a farm down in somewhere in South Jersey in the county, and they gave a presentation to her and honored her for her work that she does with the farm folks in preserving farmland. Let's see. The history board, I know, I said something about the library. The library has their tea coming up on March the 22nd. Again, if you go to their website, you'll be able to get more information about that. And the history board has their open house scheduled for Saturday, April the 5th, here at the town hall from 1 to 3. And let's see, on our JIF insurance, there's a planning retreat that all the township members are invited to, and our lead person, Aaron Provenzano, and that's on Tuesday, April 15th. It starts at 9 a.m. And we can get you more information on that if you're interested.
Yeah, so it looks like it's quite a day. It's almost all day.
Right. The way they have it, there's two sessions, and in the afternoon, right after the afternoon session, then we have our regular JIF meeting, insurance meeting.
So is this something that we have to, township committee members should attend in order to get credit for something, or is this just an additional?
It's just additional.
Okay.
Aaron had sent us out a memo pertaining to some training online dealing with cybersecurity, and that there we can get some credit, or I guess dollar credits
Right,
towards our insurance.
right.
And everyone's encouraged to.
I think
Get
we all
that in.
did that.
Yeah, it was earlier this
Yeah,
year.
that was early.
No, it's a
There
different one.
was,
I got it the other day. I have
cyber-
to do it.
Cyber Training 1 and then Cyber Training 2.
Oh, I don't think I got two yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
If you didn't get the email last week, you did it then.
Yeah,
Because
I
she
did.
sent an email
Oh,
that
I
we're
did
doing.
it. I
Yeah.
did it already then. Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Phil?
March 5th, unfortunately, I was not in town for the Environmental Advisory Board meeting. However, if the residents choose, I think it would be a good idea for them to go to the library on March 25th from 6:30 to 8. They have, the EAB is presenting their bird migration along the Delaware. It'll be very educational. If you have the time, stop by the library. March 8th, I attended the Rutgers course for the Land Use Board members. It was an 8-hour course, and I actually passed their test, which was a good thing. Janice sent me my certification this morning, and it was very, very educational. Everything is a learning experience for your first time. March 11th, I attended the budget meeting, and then Thursday, March 13th, I attended the recreation meeting, which we were covering the majority of our events coming up. And other than that, that's it.
And the land use was canceled this month?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks, Matt. Go ahead.
Okay. Can you explain the difference between a D2, D3 variance yet, Phil? There'll be a quiz later.
Yes.
All right, since I last gave report on the 24th of last month, I attended, as everyone else here did, numerous budget workshop sessions as we continue to come up with a solid budget, which the end result will be introduced a little later on at this meeting. I believe we had about 3 or 4 meetings, and it's a very tight budget, as Richard will explain, as we try to do more with less and deal with all the rising costs in the world today. I attended the Fire Commission meeting on the 25th. Normal business occurred, and I attended the Board of Ed meeting on the 26th. The next meeting is this coming Wednesday night at 7 p.m. at the Pearson School. I attended the flag raising ceremony at Gateway Park on March 1st. A nice job by Lucas Russell on his Eagle Scout project, along with all the other Delanco Boy Scouts from the troop. Myself and Deputy Mayor Fitzpatrick, as part of our staff succession planning subcommittee, met with numerous candidates for employment as we work on upcoming retirements. And last week, we met with JPM, Jersey Professional Management, to help assist with that matter. And in everyone's packet tonight, there's a proposal from JPM that the succession planning subcommittee recommends that we move forward with. It was for $5,000 maximum for their support, and I would just ask for a motion to approve moving forward with that.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Phil and Kate. Need an all in favor, or do we need roll call, Jen?
All in favor is fine.
All in favor?
Aye.
Let's see, last Wednesday, as Fern mentioned, he and myself met with the Library Contract Subcommittee with representatives from the Board of Education. We had a very productive meeting to move our negotiations forward with the agreement to continue the library at the Pearson School. We received all of the signs for the trails at Hawk Island from the sign company, and I spent some time last week reviewing them to make sure all's good. And I will be out tomorrow afternoon on the trails marking where they're going, so Public Works knows where to start posting them. They'll be doing that over the next week or so, and we can move forward with that. I think probably after 3 o'clock or so, once I get done with work. And that's all I have at this time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Kate?
Oh, yes. I've been here. DISA, Del Riv, that's the youth sports. Basketball had a good season, no issues. Playoffs began March 1, and they will be having a banquet again this year. Registration is still open for baseball, softball, and t-ball. Opening day has been rescheduled for April 26th, and it's going to be in Delanco instead of Riverside this year. And they hope to start clinics for flag football and volleyball for the youth. Field of Dreams, we met with McHugh and the various members of the subcommittee regarding the conditions of the field and the new owners. Shade Tree, we met on February 26th. The arborist report was reviewed. There was an application continued from the last meeting regarding the tree between 211 and 207 Lilac. The applicant was present and again presented his concerns. The board agreed to trim the tree and put them on the list for the pilot replacement plan for sidewalk ramps. There was another applicant at 2819 Colgate Avenue who was not present. The resident has had problems with water in the basement and roots penetrating her lines. She finally had to have her sewer line replaced. The board felt that the 2 trees would no longer cause her the same issues. So the arborist suggested pruning one of the forks of the trees for now. The sidewalks are heaved in one area and it was suggested to use pavers to ramp over the roots. 302 Walnut was discussed. While trimming, Top Notch reported that decay was noted at the top of the tree. Removal was discussed. The decay could not be determined from the ground, so the arborist advised that we should observe the tree after leaf out to determine if the decline of the tree warranted removal. There were approximately 25 residents who have requested plantings. I asked about the budget, and John indicated he would contact Richard and submit a budget as requested. Bill Matalevitz indicated that we were due for the tree inventory and extensive report for the community forestry management plan. And the arborist suggested we discuss the tree removal on private property to satisfy the new stormwater management requirements and amend our shade tree ordinance at our next meeting. The budget meetings, I just would really like to thank Richard for his preparation and continuing to work with us to come to a budget that we could all agree on. It was really difficult time this year, and we appreciate you, Richard. Affordable housing, we're continuing to discuss and meet with regard to our trust fund monies. Since Delanco was proactive in years regarding the second and third rounds, we did not need to provide additional housing for the 4th round and probably not the 5th. Seniors, Living Springs. I met with the residents of Living Springs on February 28th. They had concerns regarding the bird flu, and the county had just sent out some information regarding it, so their questions I was able to answer and provide them with some good information. 5 of the residents did attend the presentation by Erin Provenzano regarding the new forms for senior freeze, anchor program, and stay New Jersey tax forms. Those forms will be mailed to individuals who have already filed either the senior freeze and or the anchor program. Actually, I got mine today. The group has requested meetings with the police, OEM, and the fire department. So I sent emails to the heads of those departments to contact their manager to set up a time when they can go out, and they could be during the day. A joint meeting was held on March 11th at Living Springs Community Center with both senior groups. We had 90 people in attendance. Entertainment was provided by All That's Jazz, and boxed lunches were served to 90 seniors. The event was sponsored by the Recreation Commission, and I chaired that. Everyone had a great lunch and really enjoyed the jazz band. I did attend the recreation. Well, I also, first, let me say that I attended the ceremony at Gateway Park for the new flagpole. Lucas Russell and the troop did a great job, and for his Eagle Scout project. It was a beautiful day for the ceremony. The Recreation Commission met on March 13th. I reported that the flower show and the senior luncheon were both enjoyed, and thanked the members of for these programs. Ken Shedeker and Bobby Crabtree attended the meeting from Public Works and reported on the various projects that are completed on the facilities and fields. They're doing a great job, and the fields are in good condition. Easter egg hunt is scheduled to begin promptly at 1 p.m. at the Field of Dreams on April 12th. The other Eagle Scout project is scheduled for April 13th at the Field of Dreams. And Phil, I think that boy is Tommy Gall?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. And Recreation did review their proposed budget and decreased it by $10,500, I believe, and an additional $10,000 for the Centennial event, so we appreciate that. The Hen Advisory Board is meeting tomorrow night. There were some mention of chickens at various addresses, so letters were sent out to those residents. Sewer Authority met on March 11th at Town Hall. Stylix, they're just discharging domestic waste at this time. 989 Coopertown Road, the tenant has scheduled a date for inspection, and our engineer will report at our next meeting. The trunk line project has been closed. It looks like permanent financing for the project may be sooner than originally anticipated. We should probably receive information mid-April, and the final documents may be executed in July. The operator's report is on file. An RFQ is being sent out to ATV Burlington Avenue from Perkins Lane to West Avenue to determine if there are problems in the line, since it appears that there may be. The engineer was also asked to provide a list of items with the estimated costs, so we can discuss that at our next meeting, to determine what projects we're gonna take on next year. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Oh, that's it?
That's it.
Okay, thank you. You always give us the most extensive reports, so thank you, Kate. I'll keep mine short and sweet since most people covered the meetings that we attended. I think there was about 3 budget meetings. I attended to meet the mayor on the 25th at the library. I had about 6 or 7 residents there, and that was a fun night to answer some questions. On the 28th, I was on the Affordable Housing Zoom meeting. I performed 2 weddings. On March 5th, I read at the school to the 3rd grade and kindergarten and 1st grade. No, 4th and 5th grade. 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade during the Read Across America week, so that was exciting. The 12th, I was here for the bid openings for Waterfront Park and the CDBG handicap ramps. We went over the bids, and we'll be awarding the contract for Waterfront Park tonight. And the recreation meeting was on the 13th. I attended that as well. So that's it. Moving on. Introduction of our 2025 municipal budget. Resolution 2024-52. Hold on, I can't see.
2020,
2025-52, it should be, right?
Yeah.
It's okay. Resolution introducing the 2025 municipal budget and set public hearing for April 21st, 25 at 7 PM at the municipal building, 770 Coopertown Road. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
second.
Motion by Kate, second by Matt. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bartlett?
Yes.
Mrs. Patrick?
Yes.
Mr. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
I have questions pertaining to, I guess, the Centennial Park. I know we had discussed it at the one budget workshop where we were looking for a grant. And then in the budget, we had $325,000 as part of the budget. And in the expenditure sheet that we received earlier today, I didn't see that in the expenditure, whether that's still part of our budget process.
It's the down payment money,
It's a down payment?
at 5%.
It's 5% of the amount. It's not the full amount for the park.
For
It's
this-
in the capital.
It's in the capital budget,
It's in the capital.
but we're only budgeting 5% of that,
Yeah, 5% of the proposed amount.
like all the other capital projects, the
Right.
same thing.
Okay. Thank you for that explanation. I vote yes.
Ms. Sues?
Yes, thank you. Consent agenda items. Consent agenda items are considered to be routine and will be enacted with a single motion. Any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda. All consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. Ordinance 2020, anybody have anything they want to remove or discuss?
Yes. Ordinance 2025-4.
Okay. We'll set that aside for now. Move down to resolutions, 2025-53, resolution of the Committee of the Township of Delanco, County of Burlington, New Jersey, authorizing the appointment of police officers Kyle Harris and Jaron Jackson. Is it Jaron?
Jerron?
Jaron?
Yeah.
Okay, Jaron Jackson. Resolution 2025-54, authorizing execution of assignment of contract for McHugh's Landscaping to Riverview Landscapes. Resolution 2025-55, authorizing agreement for financial advisory services. Resolution 2025-56, award bid and contract for historic Riverfront Park. It's waterfront park project improvements, and also payment of bills. Current fund, $235,862.81. Payroll, $115,864.44. Housing Trust, $823.50. Capital Fund, $151 even. Approval of consent agenda. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second?
Motion by Matt, second by Fern. Roll call.
Mr. Bartlett?
Yes.
Ms. Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Mr. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Roulette?
Yes.
Ms. Seuss?
Yes, circling back to ordinance 2025-4.
Yes. I'm asking that that be read separately because it's a very important decision that we're making in bonding for $3,420,000 in bonds. The overall project that we have so far is $3.6 million, and I just didn't want it to get swept in as a
Consent
a
agenda?
consent item.
Okay.
I have questions about the financing and things, but we can go forward.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, moving forward, ordinance 2025-4, a bond ordinance of the Township of Delanco in the County of Burlington, authorizing the acquisition of land and the improvements thereon located at 401 Creek Road, appropriating the sum of $3,600,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $3,420,000 bonds or notes of the township for financing such appropriations, and making certain determinations and covenants and authorizing certain related actions in connection with the foregoing. This is a first reading by title only and set public hearing date for April 21st, 2025 at 7 p.m. Can I get a motion to approve ordinance 2025-4?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Phil, second by Kate. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bartlett?
Yes.
Ms. Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Mr. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Roulette?
I'm going to say no. With the climate that we find ourselves in our country and where finances are going and the economic impact that we're all going to feel at some given point in time if we haven't already. Things from the federal government shifting to the state and then the state shifting things down to us. You know, they do stuff by mandate and, you know, if we just look at where our tax bills are now and where they're going to be going, it's a concern. And if we look at just our personal finances of home utility bills and groceries and those type of things, taking all those things into consideration and the project, I'm voting no.
And Ms. Seuss?
Yes. Correspondence?
Excuse me, just say the public hearing is the 7th, not the 21st.
Oh,
April 7th, not April 21st.
Okay, so the public hearing for ordinance 2025-4 is actually April 7th.
Yeah, on the inside, if you look for the last pages of the document in your packet, the public hearing will be on April 7th.
Okay. Okay, correspondence, Janice, anything?
No correspondence.
Okay, thank you. Meeting's open to the public, session 2 for comments and questions. If you have anything, please come to the podium and state your name and address.
You know, I couldn't. Ray Weber, 22 Ships Way. You guys knew I couldn't.
Hi, Ray.
hi,
How you
Ray.
doing? When we met over at Newton's Lane there a month ago, we have a historical preservation site
Yes.
behind the farmhouse. We, been trying to figure out how to do this. The fence on there, I was out there again today looking at the fence. The fence is deteriorated beyond repair and stuff. So what what we are asking for is that on the three corners and two ends, where there is fence, that we put in the ground, a marker on all those spots. And then in the middle of the plot of where mulch is and two trees have been planted 30 years ago, 20 years ago, we want to put a plaque on there, embedded on concrete, on a 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot piece of concrete, identifying the plaque as saying archaeological preservation. What I've done is I've given a rough sketch so that everybody can see what I'm talking about. So this gives you an idea of what we're looking at. And there's two there.
There you go.
Do you have an extra one for Janice?
So it can go on the record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Jen.
All right.
What happens is, what we want to do is, as you can see, that whole area is about 90, almost 97 feet long. And it's, the one side is like 46 feet. And then you can see the other side is 33 feet. And the reason why there's only 33 and 46 is because the township allowed the builder to put in the pool and cut off that one corner. So see that diagonal line going across the bottom there? That's where the line should have been, but it can't be there because the fence couldn't be there because the wall's in there for the, around the outside of the pool. So that's the reason why we have that there. Now, this is what we've got. This is what we're planning on doing, putting on the four corners, and on the other things where we're gonna put markers on there to identify where it's at. And then in the center there, which is a mulched area, we put the plaque. Now what happens is, just to remove the fence alone, because those posts are over 3 foot deep.
Wow.
We dug out 2 of them. And we say, we can't do it, because we're all in our 70s and 80s. And we can't dig it anymore. So we have to hire Realty to come in to take it out. What happens is take out the post, but he's gonna leave the posts on the corners, and we're just gonna cut them ground level and use them as part of our markers. Put a cap on them, so it'll be identifiable, and we'll go from there. I just wanted to let you know this is what we're planning on doing. If you have any questions.
Can you summarize that in official capacity and send
Yeah.
that to us? So
Yeah,
we
okay,
can
well,
make a decision that
yeah.
way, but this is good visual here.
Yeah, it gives you an idea. And as you can see, you know, there's about 1 inch is equal to like 10 feet
Yeah,
going across that thing, so it's,
it's like about 4,300 square feet, it looks like.
yeah,
maybe.
about
Yeah.
that.
So it's at a quarter of an acre?
Ray,
Make
is
sure
this the
Janice-
area here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Make sure
Okay.
Janice gets a copy of that.
Yeah, I will have it all sent to you.
Okay.
Is that like not a quarter of an acre maybe?
How many square feet was that?
40, like 4,300?
4,300? That's, well, an acre is 43,009
Yeah.
and
Oh,
change, so
it's not
yeah.
an acre.
So yeah.
Yeah, so it's
about
like
10% of an acre,
10%.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
it's pretty small.
it's a small area, but we want to make sure everything's okay and stuff like that, and
Right.
go from there and stuff. So we were trying to figure out how to do this darn thing and how to make it work. And then I was out there
Yeah.
today with the fence, and the fence is coming apart.
So how, are you gonna cut the post ground level where these X's are, and there'll be some kind of marker there?
Yes.
Okay.
There will be caps on each one of those ground, on those
Okay.
posts.
Right.
I mean,
'Cause
that's
what we
acceptable to me,
needed,
right?
Yeah.
Because it still needs to be designated as
Yeah.
an archaeological site. And, you know, as long as there's a sign that indicates that, and the posts will be marking
Yeah.
Yeah.
them with markings,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah, that's basically what we asked for, so if you could send that to us in official
Yeah.
capacity, we can make our decision and maybe have it
Okay,
to you
good.
by the next meeting.
Because we originally saying this writing on their archaeological site, but then we went back to the tax map. And the tax map says architectural preservation.
Right,
So we figured we're going to keep it the same as it's on the tax map. for that
Right.
Yeah.
area.
That's
whatever it
perfect.
says, and yeah, officially, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I will have an official document come to all of you so that you can go from there, okay?
Great,
Very
Sounds
good.
good.
Thanks.
Thanks, I appreciate your time.
No problem.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Ray.
Yeah, I think that the DEP basically said that, yeah, they had no problem. It's a DEP,
Yeah,
Archaeological Preservation Area.
yeah,
And they basically said that it was, the fence could be taken down as long as the ground was never disturbed.
yeah.
So however that is done, so that the contents underneath the ground are never disturbed, you know,
Yeah.
tilled up. Like out in Columbus, Mansfield Township, they actually, when they were having some development, tilled up, excavated up old Quaker graves. You know, so that is, you know, that's the purpose. And committee, you know, said just, yes, you know, fine, we're fine with the fence coming down. I had sent the email to Joanne.
Yeah.
And as long as you show a plan on how it's marked. And so that a future,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, this is a preservation area. We can't build over it
Yeah.
or excavate it.
You're talking approximately 20 feet from the house, from the farmhouse to this area. And then it's about 15 feet from where the fence is to, less than 15 feet, it's 12 feet from the fence to the path. So it's just where it's at and stuff and things, so. But I don't think anybody's gonna build in there anyway because,
You never know.
Well, they can't, so that's what we have to preserve.
yeah, I understand, yeah, so.
You know,
But it's too small of an area to build anything.
yeah.
You know?
We
Apparently
won't always
there's,
be here.
apparently
That's
there's a
why it
lot
needs
of
to be
Indian
worked out.
artifacts. There's certain Indian artifacts that were found and the state took some and then said, rest, put them back in the
Put 'em
ground
back in the hole.
and preserve these areas.
Hmm.
So that's,
So, okay, I will have them get your letter to you, official letter, and
To Janice, yeah.
to Janice.
Yes,
and
please.
then-
And she'll forward it to us.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank
Sure
you.
that the wording that'll be on the plaque should be in the letter,
Yep.
Yeah, oh, yeah, good, that will be in there.
and what cap is gonna be made out of as well.
As much detail as possible,
The
so there's
details,
no
you don't have to go
questions.
back and forth, back and
All
forth.
right, yeah.
Anyone else? Please come up to the podium.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Shirley Estenborski. I'm 329 Delaware Avenue, Delanco. I'm at the corner, well, I'm not at the corner, but I'm on the dirt road going towards Hulk Island. My question is, public service was down probably late November and went down the dirt road and put their gas line in. And I was just wondering, do you have any plans as what's going to happen with that road now that they've already, I assume they finished what they set out to do, but although they were there this past Tuesday at the corner of Delaware and Cedar, and they tore up one of the cottages, well, the gentleman that owns the property, he was there. But anyway, so I was just wondering, we bought the property in 1960, and my husband and I didn't move in until January of '68. And all this time, there's never been anything done with that dirt road. In the early '70s, Bill Ryan was the mayor at the time of Delanco, and he had the whole road graded and stone was put down. And I was just wondering, since then, nothing's been done with the road. And I was just wondering, John Fenimore, he does come down, he takes care of if there's any potholes or anything. And at snow removal, he's always down and makes sure the road is graded, that there's no snow, in the road. But I was just wondering, now that everything hopefully is done with public service, is there going to be, what's your plans for the road?
For the dirt road
For the
section.
dirt road?
Okay, do you know more about that? Why we didn't do anything with that?
There's another section of Delaware Avenue that goes behind,
Where the cottages are?
where the cottages
Off
are
of-
back
off of
there.
Orchard?
That's also similar to your dirt.
Yes.
Only theirs is probably in a worse condition than yours. I think that's kind of like a private area, but we have never discussed paving that. And I don't know if one of the reasons was because of the issue that we had with Malik at one time. But we can look into it, and I'll have to review, because we've never discussed paving that road.
Well, Mr. Malik, if he had the road closed at
I
his
know, we had it
property.
closed, and I
So-
mean, that was litigated and it was resolved.
And
I mean,
Malik's normally, I mean, they have access to Second Street.
Yeah, they
And
do.
they use Second Street all the time.
I
Now,
know.
she did go by the other day, but rarely do they go
Rarely do
by.
they come out, because they usually
Yes.
have it chained off. But,
Yes.
we've never discussed it, Shirley, and so I will talk to John and Harry, because we have a road program that we're working on,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't believe that was ever included in that. Janice, I don't think it was.
Yeah, Janice, do you have anything to add? on
No,
that?
just historically, many, many years ago,
Yeah,
it was brought up about paving that.
Someone approached my husband one
This was
time.
even before the Malik litigation
Right,
for the,
that's-
That's been a long time ago.
but at that time, nobody wanted to pave it. The residents didn't want it paved because they felt it would increase the speed.
And my husband liked the natural look.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
frowned on it.
So
But
it was left alone. And
I'm
this
not
was-
here,
This
Go
was
ahead.
many, many years ago, so it was basically because people would get a higher speed if it's paved.
sure.
So, and to
We got the
continue-
10-mile-an-hour
And
speed
people have
limit there.
less, they're less likely to go on the dirt. So that was what the residents wanted, but that was 20-some years ago, that was a long time.
Well, I know Malik at one time wanted it paved, and then someone approached my husband many years ago,
Yeah.
and my husband liked the natural look. He
Yeah.
said, but although when we bought the property in 60, there was some asphalt down the road. So apparently at one time, maybe when all the cottages were there, it might have been an asphalt road.
Yeah.
But all I'm asking, I'm not even asking to have it paved. I'd like to see some kind of stone or something. I did mention to Public Service when they were out working the end of November, and he said he has to check with Public Service, the head ones, and also the township.
yeah, when public service disrupts a road like that, they're supposed to return it to the condition.
yeah.
But so you're not asking us to pave it, because I don't think it would be a good idea to actually pave it.
No.
But we could check with public service to see if they would
Grade
return
it
some
and put
stone
stone
there,
down.
or put it on our road improvements to restone some areas, because it's probably worn down a bit. But that's probably what we can do at this
That would
point.
be fine.
Yeah, okay.
Because not in front of my house so much now, but I know the cottage, the second cottage coming in off the
Yeah.
Cedar, she's got puddles. I mean, not now, it's dried up, but she's got puddles and it's muddy.
Yeah, because of their
Yes.
disruption, yeah. So they usually do come back and do something. We'll have to check
The
with them.
fellow said that, he had to check with the township
Yeah.
and plus with the higher-ups at
We'll
PS.
check with Harry and John to find out,
appreciate it.
Shirley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
And all of Delaware where they disrupted on the paved section is getting redone in the fall.
There's equipment on Willow Street right now.
Yeah, they're going
That's-
throughout the town.
Yeah, that's
I know,
public
I
service.
understand.
Yeah, doing
Yes.
the gas meter replacements and the pipeline replacements, so it's gonna be disrupted throughout town in different areas, but Delaware, we are repaving all the way from Cedar to, Lilac, is it? Not Lilac,
No,
not
no,
Lilac,
I think it's Hazel.
I think I thought it was Edgewood. but
what's
I'm not
this,
Union, Walnut.
keep going.
Edgewood, Hazel, I think it's Hazel.
Hazel?
I think it's
Hazel, yeah.
They stopped at
Hazel.
Hazel.
Yes, there we go.
Mhm.
Wherever it was disrupted, we're repaving both sides of
Is
the
it
street.
just going to be Public Services gas line, or is there going to be a water line also?
Right now, it's just public service gas.
Yeah, you never know. As soon as we
That's what I
repave
heard
it, then the
some-
water line will come
That's
in.
what
You
I
never
heard.
know. I mean, it's,
That's what I heard,
I
that
know
there was
we
going
had
to be a
just
water
done
line.
Washington Street, and they came in and tore it up to do something. I think it was that gas or was that water?
It was water.
Water.
Yeah, it was water, so, but they did come back and resurface that one half. They have to at least do the half.
Okay.
Sometimes Harry works a deal where they'll do another road or something, but I'll definitely check with them and
I
see
appreciate
if
very,
they
very
can
much.
look into that,
Okay.
Shirley.
Thank you very much,
No
everyone.
problem,
You're
thank you.
welcome.
Kate, I'm meeting with the project manager for public service, who's in charge of that tomorrow morning, so I'll just talk to him
Oh,
about
good,
that.
okay.
And-
Yeah, that would be nice if they replace the
Yeah,
stones.
and just so you understand, the first step they did last year, the end of last year, they put the whole new main in. So now what they're doing, they're coming back and tying in all the services to the houses to the new main that they put in. So that's the second step. And they're going to be doing that. They're finishing that up over by the Walnut Street School now. And later this year, they have a lot more to do throughout the
Yeah.
town, so.
Yeah, they
It's a-
have,
It's a big project.
they have a lot of meters they have to replace too,
Yeah.
because some of them are inside and they have to be outside.
Yeah, any meters in the basement, the
Yeah.
BPU is required that they relocate them to the outside of the dwelling for God knows what reason. But
Thank you.
I'll check with them.
I
I'll
appreciate that,
circle
Matt.
back on
Thanks.
that.
We'll
Yep.
get back to you, Shirley.
Anyone else? I'll close this session to the public. Discussion items. We have the solid waste collection bidding service proposal from Trash Pro. You can find that in your packet. That is for them to look into the contract on our behalf. It's part of the, the consortium, I believe.
Yes.
So you have that in there, so we just need to review that.
Actually, I looked back to 2020. It was done by resolution, so this should be also by resolution to authorize the agreement for a cooperative pricing system under the Historic Neighborhood Riverfront Solid Waste Collection Program, and authorizing a contract with Trash Pro for solid waste bidding services. Back in 2020, it was Resolution 58. Here it will be Resolution 57.
Great.
Yeah, how about that?
Can I get a motion to approve Resolution 2025-57 awarding, hold on,
Trash Pro.
Trash Pro.
Trash Pro, yes, in the amount of $1,850 plus $150 per option or alternative.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Kate, second by Matt. Roll call.
Mr. Bartlett?
Yes.
Mrs. Patrick?
Yes.
Mr. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
Ms. Seuss?
Yes, thank you. Anybody have anything else they'd like to add?
I didn't want to include this in my report, but I followed up with the senator's office regarding the jug handle. And apparently, this came out last fall, but he neglected to tell me what the outcome was. So I wanted to read this email to you that I received today from Senator Singleton's office with regard to New Jersey DOT. They spoke with the Division of Traffic Engineering, attempting to find a solution to my concerns regarding the jug handle off Route 130, and they reviewed the intersection, and to the extent that timing can be adjusted at this intersection to alleviate the backups, it has. They also reviewed the stipulation, or the striping reduction that I had referenced, and the division went back as far as 2008 in Google Earth, and it is their understanding and determination that the jug handle has never had skip lines indicating a two-lane operation. Drivers may have formed two lanes inappropriately, but there is not enough space to stripe for two lanes. The corrective striping to one lane was done for safety and clear driver guidance when traveling the jug handle. They have met with their roadway design team to see if there was anything further that could be done. However, due to the proximity to numerous environmental concerns, Olympia Lakes, the deceleration lane adjustment for US Route 130, and possible impact to the Riverside Delanco Bridge, it was determined that this intersection improvement is not possible under a maintenance operation work order. So based on New Jersey DOT's safety management system, this intersection does not qualify for a problem statement. We appreciate your advocacy and concern regarding this intersection. However, the department has explored all avenues and attempted to remedy Committeewoman Fitzpatrick's initial inquiry. So that's the end of that.
So in short, they're not going to do anything too bad, so sad.
They're not gonna do anything, exactly, except have the light delayed a bit, that's it. So, I mean, I've tried, I worked on this, it's been 2 years at least, I think, so I just wanted to do that as a separate item, Mayor.
Thank you.
So basically, they're more concerned about environmental impacts than actual physical impacts to
Right.
drivers who are parked and are going to get, excuse my French, their asses smashed into them when they're driving on Route 130 parked into that lane.
There's been a few accidents there already.
Been plenty, oh yeah.
I mean, there was one fatal, maybe two fatal, but there's been accidents,
The fatal accident had nothing to do with that junk handle,
yeah.
zero.
There
Yeah, that was a
fatal
different,
That was when the minivan
different
went-
scenario,
yeah.
though.
But the
yeah.
scenario, the reasoning for the accident had nothing to do with,
No, it
the
didn't
junk
have,
handle.
yeah,
No.
it didn't have
so we
anything
don't
to
want
do
to do
with the
that.
junk handle.
That's disingenuous. It's
Yeah.
not what caused the accident. But
But
like
there
you,
have
like,
been-
like you and I discussed, kind of ad nauseam, they're going to do what they want to do.
I know, exactly, but I did
Irregardless of,
try to
our
bring it to
input.
their attention, because it is it's an issue.
Now, they said it won't fall under a maintenance work order. Would this be a new capital project that they could look
Well,
into?
they
So
told
talk
me
to Scott.
before that there was no funding for that, even though they had initially said that they would,
Shorten up the island.
no, they weren't, they either shorten the island or add to the shoulder,
Yeah,
so that it would be a better lane, but neither one seemed to be, within their budget concerns or restraints or whatever you wanna call it, so they're not gonna do anything, but, that's something to keep in mind when you're dealing with this state issues, Fern, at any time, because it seems like every time we ask for something or the residents come up with suggestions or ideas, they don't really take it under consideration and do anything about it. They do, like the chief just said, what they wanna do.
Keep in mind when you're voting for people for state office.
So I'm closing
Yeah.
that file of mine that I have.
You try, you try,
Just for
you
For,
try.
this has been addressed for many, many years through the Route 130 corridor process, and a lot of different process of DVRPC. One of the big problems there is that whole area, they were looking at actually moving it, actually
Right.
elongating it,
Yeah,
not just adding another lane, but elongating it, bringing it up further toward, towards the, what's that, Pennypacker? Not Pennypacker.
yeah.
Pennypacker,
but,
yeah.
you know,
But
they
you've got, I think Olympia Lakes is Green Acres.
Well, that's not
And-
why, that was gonna be added to, the junk handle, but Edgewater Park didn't want trucks going down that road because there's a school there.
Yeah. Well, that was actually to open up Pennypacker, and that was to alleviate some of the congestion. But years ago, it was also to bring the traffic up further and going back of the Wawa. And
Right.
Yeah.
they would have to actually take some of the park to make that loop around. I saw the plans, and being Green Acres, it's almost like, no, I mean, you can, but you have to trade land and swap land, it's not an easy process. So there was many, many designs, and nothing ever came to fruition.
I know.
And a big part of it is the fact that that whole Olympia Lakes Park is Green Acres.
okay. One other thing before we go. 2025, while we're talking about the county, 2025 DVRPC TCDI grant funding opportunity. It's a lot of acronyms. Got an email from Matt Johnson letting us know they're applying for a grant and asked for our support on it. So Burlington County is interested in developing a regional bicycle and pedestrian trail network, including the Delaware River Heritage Trail, predominantly off-road handicap accessible bicycle and pedestrian trail that would ultimately connect from Trenton to Camden on the New Jersey side of the river. At this time, Burlington County is seeking to apply for the DVRPC funding to study a 13-mile-long segment on the Delaware River Heritage Trail from Florence to Delanco. As part of the proposed study, the county and its consultant team would investigate route alignment opportunities and construction feasibility for off-road trail improvements and safe, accessible pedestrian and bicycle accommodations through portions of our towns. In connection with the grant opportunity, the county is seeking letters of support from us as host municipalities. He attached a rough draft of a template that we filled out and sent back. Should the county be fortunate enough to fund this project, we'll be in contact with us to schedule future stakeholder meetings. So that's from Matt Johnson. So
So do they have a proposed mapping? Is that gonna be along Delaware Avenue?
they didn't send any of that, but I would.
Because I think that's what they were proposing years ago. I mean.
I would think it would be on Burlington Avenue, down to
Yeah.
connect the trail through Riverside, to end at Riverside, like right at the bridge
Because
there.
they did map the biking along Burlington Avenue,
Yeah.
because they painted the bikes there, and of course, they're worn out now.
Yeah,
And they put that lane, it's really funny, some people think that's an extra driving lane.
yeah.
But it is a bike lane, but yeah, you're probably right.
So their initiatives seem to be bike lanes and pedestrian lanes, and don't worry about the cars.
Yeah.
That's their initiative, because they're doing it in Delran too, on Route 130. They're
Yeah, they're
proposing
gonna
this
have
big
bikes on Route
bikes,
130.
pedestrian corridor. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not in a position where I'll support that until they fix the issue with the flooding of the Delanco Riverside Bridge, where the county spends the money on that instead of spending the money on something that isn't needed.
That makes sense.
You know,
Yeah.
they promised us to get working bridge flooded signs. They talk out of their asses. That's all they do at the county, and I'm not willing to support anything else they do until they fix that issue.
Right.
Anything.
Right.
Yeah, well, this is a grant, it's not a project, it's just a grant to do a feasibility study. So,
Which is spending money on a feasibility study. Why don't they apply for a grant to
They-
fix the major
They
issue?
did that years ago, I thought. I mean, this has been in the works for a long time,
yeah,
that bike trail.
yeah.
So I guess, could you forward that to us? Or
Mhm.
have Janice forward
Sure.
it to us, that letter, and, yeah,
Yep.
thank you.
Anybody else have anything? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Absolutely.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, good night.
Meeting.
Joanne?